Tonight on UCentral News. Election Day is here, and we're here to give you the latest updates before the polls close, as well as your forecast while you wait in line. And in sports, the Broncos were rewarded with a trio of awards. Find out who won what later in the show. All that and more on this Election Day edition of UCentral News.
Live from Central Oklahoma, this is UCentral News.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Ramirez.
And I'm Shanice Hopkins. Welcome to this edition of UCentral News. Election Day 2024 is in full swing. In-person voting at the polls is underway coast to coast, and today's ballots will be added to more than 78 million votes cast during early voting periods nationwide, according to data gathered by CNN. Either way, history will be made.
If Donald Trump wins, he'll be the first president since Grover Cleveland voted out of the White House, then voted back in. If Vice President Kamala Harris wins, she'll be the first woman ever elected president. As Laura Aguirre explains, election officials are urging patience and calm on what's sure to be a long day of voting and ballot counts.
For president, 3 for Kamala Harris, 3 for Donald Trump.
Election Day kicked off with a split vote just after midnight in the 6-person town of Dixville Notch, New Hampshire. Polls are now open nationwide, and all eyes are on the hard-fought swing states like North Carolina, where a vitriolic campaign season has left a mark.
I don't care who you voted for. I want to be a community again.
I feel there's a lot of hatred out there, and I would like to see less of that. Less violence.
In Buncombe County, decimated by Hurricane Helene just weeks ago, election officials say polling sites are open and ready.
We've done double testing of all of the results uploading infrastructure, so we don't anticipate any issues with that.
In fellow battleground Pennsylvania, fraught with legal challenges and claims of voter suppression in recent weeks, the state's district attorney pulling no punches on potential disruptors.
Anybody who thinks it's time to play militia, F around and find out.
To Cedarburg, Wisconsin, where bomb-sniffing dogs are being used to keep polling stations safe for the first time ever. It's a safety message being echoed in Michigan for voters and poll watchers alike.
We will have them removed. We have that authority here.
Key to today's vote count in many states, patience.
I just want to assure the American public that it will happen, but it will be sometime after midnight.
The first polls close at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Election Day officially ends when the last polls close in Alaska at 1 a.m. Eastern Time Wednesday morning. Rules vary slightly from state to state, but several, like Pennsylvania, require early voting ballots to be held, open, and counted on Election Day, which is why results may not come back until overnight hours or sometime early Wednesday.
It can also show one candidate doing better in early hours after polls close and then change hours later as ballots are tallied. In another swing state, North Carolina, the executive director of that state's election board tried to head off any Election Day unrest by asking candidates and election officials to accept the results, concede defeat, and have a peaceful transition of power.
As more young people head to the polls, students are viewing this election as their chance to make an impact. Here's a look at why their votes matter.
With over 41 million eligible voters, Gen Z has the numbers to make an impact. Tamaya, the executive director at the ACLU, believes student voting plays an important role in this political climate.
The two candidates on the federal level are candidates that are talking about issues that young folks are talking about in a deeper way. This is that young folks can save democracy. Whatever that means to you, young folks are going to show up and show out, as they always do.
Many see voting as a way for students to push for change on issues that affect their daily lives. Izzy Berry, a political science student, feels there's a new interest in voting among her generation.
100% there is an important need for students to get out and vote. So we tend to be a little bit more activist leaning. And so I think we kind of are seeing a surge in people caring again.
For many, this election is their chance to shape the policies that could impact their future. Reporting from Edmond, Shanice Hopkins, UCentral News.
Looks like temperatures are dropping just in time for Election Day.
But will the weather be as unpredictable as the polls? Gwyneth Duncan will have your first look at weather.
Thank you, guys. And looking outside, we had an overcast of clouds all day. This brought our temperatures down quite a bit, and we had those north winds making that wind chill really light, and it was really chilly outside today. As we look at our current conditions, 60 degrees. It's finally feeling like fall, partly cloudy. Our winds are coming from the north, 5 miles per hour, really light, but still making it a lot colder than it actually is out there. Our humidity is pretty high, though, 76%. As we look at our allergy index, we're looking at pretty low on all lines. We're looking at tree pollen low, grass pollen pretty much non-existent, ragweed pretty low, and mold spores at moderate. You're going to want to expect this to keep going up as fall continues, and then it'll dramatically drop as Christmas arrives. As we look ahead, cold front moving out tonight. It's moving southeast out of our state, and then those winds are going to switch south. That's going to bring the humidity up dramatically, and that's going to make it a lot hotter out these next couple of days. Don't get me wrong, it'll still be in the 60s, but definitely going to be a lot hotter than it was. We also have some combating fronts that are going to move in Thursday. Over the weekend, we're going to see a lot of rain because of that. It's just going to bring a lot of rain and a lot of varying winds. You're going to want to keep an eye on that, and I'll have that full weather forecast for you later in the show. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Gwyneth. Judy Love, co-founder of Love's Travel Stop, passed away Tuesday in Oklahoma City at the age of 87. Love founded the gas station alongside her husband, Tom Love, in Watonga in 1964. Love later attended UCO and earned a degree in interior design. She also established the Love Family Affiliated Fund, which contributes grants to various charitable organizations. In a statement made on the official Love's website, Love was described as the heart and soul of the Love family. She is survived by four children, 9 grandchildren, and 6 great-grandchildren.
In lighter news, International Education Week is approaching, and the International Student Council will be hosting their 49th Annual International Festival on the 9th. The council aims to celebrate and showcase international communities in Edmond and UCO. It will feature food, performances, and activities from a variety of cultures and regions, including Japan, India, Latin America, and Africa. The festival is open to the public and is free to attend. It will be held from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday at the Edmond Festival Marketplace on 1st Street, just west of Broadway.
The UCO Center for Counseling and Wellbeing and Calming Central are offering services for any students who need to process Election Day stress. They offer a range of programs and services made to support students' mental health and well-being, including counseling, group counseling, fostering student success, and Calming Central. Calming Central is a room where students can de-stress and relax. Located in the Nye University Center, this room includes massage chairs, yoga mats, coloring sheets, and fun games to play to reduce anxiety. No appointment is needed to use the room. They're open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Now, Oklahoma has seen its fair share of weather. We've seen rain, we've seen tornadoes, we've seen like a lot of things. Will it continue? We will find out after the break when Gwyneth has your full look at weather.
Rugged, rough, built for the road ahead.
Sometimes I feel like a shell of a man.
Commercials are fake. What you're feeling isn't. Call or text 988, Oklahoma's mental health lifeline.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move forward. daily living the Bronco way, being reflective of our neighborhood, community, history, and Oklahoma. This is what has made us who we are. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the third largest university in Oklahoma. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Good afternoon and welcome back, Broncos. Looking outside right now, it's finally feeling like fall, 60 degrees. Those north winds are making it feel a lot cooler too, so it's finally feeling cold enough outside to wear sweats and hoodies. It's feeling amazing. Looking across the state, low 60s, 61 degrees in OKC. It's feeling pretty nice out there, and it's going to get even colder going into tonight. 45 degrees, mostly clear because those winds are going to push out that overcast of clouds we saw today, and that wind is going to switch. We're going to go from northwest wind to southeast wind at 12 a.m., and you're going to be able to tell because, as you may have noticed, that humidity is going to be at 100%. That's going to be miserable, especially for tomorrow. As we look across the state for tonight, though, we're looking at low to mid 40s, 43 degrees in OKC. It's going to feel pretty chilly out there, especially up in Guyman. 35 degrees, that's freezing right there. That's really cold. It's finally feeling cold outside, but as we look at tomorrow, that humidity is going to ruin that for us. We're going to be starting off the day at 45 degrees, so you may want to dress up a lot, but as we go to noon, we're going to be at 63 degrees, and that humidity is going nowhere. Those winds are going to be super light tomorrow coming from the south. That's what's bringing up all the humidity for the rest of the day, and it's not going anywhere. 7 p.m., humid, 60 degrees. Partly cloudy all day, maybe a few clouds in the sky, but nothing really extreme. And as we look ahead, cold front is going to be moving out, bringing in that humid air. And then we are going to have some combating cold fronts and warm fronts that's going to bring a lot of rain Thursday, Friday. As we look at that, Thursday, Friday, that's going to be where our rain chances are at. Now, we're not looking at severe chances as we saw before, so I know we're kind of traumatized from those tornadoes we got in November a few days ago, but luckily with these storms, we're really not going to see much of that Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, though those temperatures are going to start to go up with that south wind that's going to move back in after that. Now, going into the weekend is supposed to be pretty rainy. I don't know if that ruined you guys' chances for weekend plans or what, because it is going to be pretty rainy those next couple of days.
Honestly, Gwyneth, the rain is going to be my plan. I really like the rain, so I plan on just sitting on my porch, listening and relaxing. What about you? Is it ruining your plans?
Not really. I didn't really have any plans. I think I'm just going to enjoy the rain and stay inside the whole day.
I'm not a fan of cold weather, but I do love the rain because it's the perfect time to take a nap. Thank you, Gwyneth.
Coming up next, find out what social media companies are doing to fight the spread of misinformation about the election.
And which streaming service will have live election coverage. Abby Avers will have all that and more when we come back.
Happy birthday! Make a wish.
Miss you guys.
Blue skies smiling at me, talking about blue skies. Do I see? Bluebirds singing a song, talking about blue skies from now on.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Are you really sure this is all going to fit?
Oh, it'll fit. I got that. All right.
When hauling anything, ensure it's secure. Losing your load is dangerous for all drivers. We want everyone to make it home safe. Help make Oklahoma safe by securing your load.
Good afternoon, Broncos. I'm Abby Avers here with all of your social media news. Well, it is Election Day, Oklahoma, and with Americans headed to the polls, social media companies like Meta and TikTok are under pressure to handle what's expected to be a flood of misinformation, heightened by the rise of AI. On Facebook and Instagram, Meta said it's adding fact-checked labels to election content that's been debunked. The company is also using in-app notifications to connect users with information about voter registration. If users search for something election-related, they'll see links to official information about how, when, and where to vote. TikTok partners with fact-checking organizations that label unverified content. It also uses specialized misinformation moderators with specific training and teams, TikTok said. The company is also working with AP to make real-time results of the election available within the app. TikTok says it doesn't permit the spread of misleading AI-generated content, which includes depictions of public figures endorsing specific political views. TikTok creators are also required to label AI-generated content, and the company launched a tool to help. If you haven't had the chance to go vote yet, don't worry, you still have time. Polling places are open till 7 p.m. tonight. If you haven't voted before, the UCO Community Engagement Instagram page has you covered with their Election Day post. On the post, you can find information about what you can wear to a polling location, what you need to bring with you, and what not to bring with you, like campaign materials. And remember, as long as you're in line before 7, you will get to cast your vote even after the polling place closes. Many celebrities are hitting social media today to endorse a presidential candidate and encouraging others to make their voice heard. Musician Katy Perry took to X endorsing the vice president, saying, "Have you voted yet? Today is the day, y'all." Followed by a blue heart and tagging Kamala Harris. X CEO Elon Musk also took to X, but instead of promoting the Vice President Harris, he's endorsing former President Trump, saying the cavalry has arrived. Men are voting in record numbers. They now realize everything is at stake. Many other celebs have also posted their endorsements and will continue throughout the day. The streaming service Peacock will expand its multi-view experience, one of the most popular features from its 2024 Paris Olympics coverage, to election night, marking the first time it will be available beyond sports content. Peacock's election multi-view will present viewers tonight with a curated 3-view experience featuring breaking news, data analysis, and real-time results. Breaking news and real-time coverage will come from the NBC News team, led by Lester Holt and Savannah Guthrie, with journalists reporting from battleground states. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Abby. Coming up, where do the Broncos stand in the football playoff picture?
And were the Thunder able to remain undefeated? Find out when we come back.
I was raised to believe in the power of possibility, to always move forward but never forget where I came from, to value hard work, ingenuity, and hospitality. On one hand, my people are rough and rugged. On the other, refined and elegant. They taught me how to love beautiful things and cherish my past, to seek out adventure, eat well, and to have a good time. So I keep their traditions alive every place I go. They call me Oklahoma City, but you can call me the modern frontier.
UCentral News as a whole, you got to be in those different areas, like being on camera, being off camera, being in the control room. And so I feel like that is what prepared me most about being in the workplace.
UCentral and the mass comm department
has provided me all the tools and the fundamentals that are needed in order to thrive well and thrive fast at my job.
Maybe it's time to hit the road and visit a place where stories unfold. This is the land of the ultimate road trip, with sights old and new on Route 66. There's fun to be had, so much to do, and a few new surprises before you get through. Oklahoma has the most miles to share of Route 66. It's really quite rare. TravelOK.com will show you the way. Come see for yourself this iconic highway.
After a thrilling 37-34 victory against Missouri Western on Saturday, head coach Adam Dorrell spoke with us today after the victory.
We're really proud of our guys' effort, and you know, the situation was very bleak, and for guys to keep fighting, and it can be difficult.
I was also able to ask him about the quarterback situation after Dawson Hurls stepped up on the final 2 drives for Jet Huff.
No, Huff will start. You know, Jet, it was the first time he had played in a rain game, and you know.
The Broncos will be back in action on Saturday, looking to clinch a share of the MIAA championship in Topeka against the Washburn Ichabods. And while the D2 playoffs are 3 weeks away, the NCAA released their regional rankings and gave us a sneak peek at what our matchups would look like. Looking into Super Regional 3, Ferris State has the top seed and would have a first-round bye. UCO is the 4th seed and would host a Ouachita Baptist if these were the final rankings. MIAA foe Pitt State would take on defending national champion Harding in what would be the 3-6 matchup. The 2-7 matchup would be Grand Valley State and University of Indy. Now, Emporia State right now is technically the 7th seed in the NCAA rankings, but an equal access rule could benefit UIndy as they lead their conference. As long as UIndy wins, they'll have one of the 7 spots. Moving past hypotheticals, the MIAA rewarded 2 Bronco football players for their efforts in their victory against the Griffins. First, David Williams was named Defensive Player of the Week after his 11-tackle performance, and this unbelievable tackle, there it is, boom, that forced the fumble and pushed the Griffins back 2 yards. Kobe Stevens was all over the field on Saturday, snagging an interception in this game as well as 2 tackles, but his biggest play was this 92-yard punt return, the longest in all of college football this season. And you know what they say, special teams, special plays, special players, and Kobe Stevens is the definition of that. To volleyball, Addison Wimmer won the MIAA Offensive Player of the Week last week, and she thought it was so nice she did it twice. Yes, for the 2nd straight week, Wimmer was the conference's Offensive Player of the Week for the 2nd straight week. The outside setter had 26 kills over the last 2 games and averaged 4.33 kills per set. The Broncos volleyball team rose up to 11th in the rankings and remained 23-2 on the season. To the NBA, as Loud City was in full effect as the Thunder remained undefeated on the 2024-25 campaign with their victory over the Orlando Magic. Highlight time, Thunder up 12, Jalen Williams goes up the court. He's going to miss this layup, but Chet Holmgren slams it home. Had a little oopsie-daisy there, looked like he was playing Mario Kart, but Chet Holmgren had 14 points and 9 rebounds on the game. Later in the third, it's Alex Caruso over to Isaiah Joe, bullseye. As the Thunder were able to win this one 102-86 and are now 7-0 for the first time ever. The Thunder have the night off tonight, obviously because of the election, but they will be back in Denver tomorrow night. And that's going to be all from the sports world. Jeremy and Shanice, back to you two.
When we come back, find out what sweet treat you can get for free when you vote.
And Gwyneth Duncan will have our last look at weather after the break.
Rugged, rough, built for the road ahead. Sometimes I feel like a shell of a man.
Commercials are fake. What you're feeling isn't. Call or text 988, Oklahoma's mental health lifeline.
How much difference can one vote make? Since 2023, more than 60 U.S. elections have been tied or won by just one vote. So this fall, your friend could be the tiebreaker. And that could make all the difference. People are more likely to vote when encouraged by a friend. So use your power to decide this election. Make sure you're good to vote and encourage your friends to make a voting plan at votevotevote.com.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move forward, daily living the Bronco way, being reflective of our neighborhood, community, history, and Oklahoma. This is what has made us who we are. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the third largest university in Oklahoma. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Welcome back, Broncos. Now, we all know that today is Election Day, but it's also National Donut Day. This is the second of 2 days this year that celebrates this sweet treat. The origins of donuts are in dispute. Some say Dutch settlers introduced them to the U.S. In honor of Election Day, Krispy Kreme is offering all guests a free glazed donut. Enjoy your favorite donuts today and post about it on social media using the hashtag National Donut Day.
We are learning more about a rare birth at Scotland's Edinburgh Zoo. Say hello to Haggis, a pygmy hippo calf. She was born at the zoo last week. Pygmy hippos are native to West Africa and Liberia, but they are endangered. Only about 2,500 exist in the world today. Zoo officials say the first 30 days are critical for the hippo's development, and so the zoo will closely monitor Haggis over the coming weeks. And now Gwyneth will have your last look at weather.
Thank you, Jeremy. And looking at our forecast for tomorrow, starting off at 7 a.m., super humid, 100% humidity. If you're a girl, you're gonna wanna put your hair up because it is gonna be really humid tomorrow. 45 degrees, partly cloudy in the morning, but those clouds are gonna get pushed out by those winds by noon, which is when that humidity is going to be at 69%. It's gonna be pretty sunny at noon, and with that sun and the humidity combined, that's not a really good combo out there. As we go into 7 p.m., super humid, 77% and 60 degrees. Those clouds are gonna move back in. As we look at our 7-day, Wednesday, 69 degrees. That temperature goes up a slight bit because those winds are going to switch tonight, becoming south instead of north. As we go into Thursday and Friday, that's when those combating fronts move together. We're going to see a warm front and a cold front try to battle each other right in between our state, which is going to cause a lot of rain. None of it is going to be severe, but a lot of rain. 90% chance on Friday, just insane. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, those winds start to switch back to south, and that's when those temperatures go up. 66 degrees on Sunday, 67 degrees on Monday. And then Tuesday, we get another chance of rain. We're talking 10%. We could see a little bit of severe storms on Tuesday, depending on how those rain chances play out. You're going to want to keep an eye on the weather for that because it definitely is still up in the air until we get closer to that. And that's all I have for today's weather. So back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Gwyneth. Now, today is Election Day, and UCentral will have a special coverage for you guys starting at 6:30. We'll be doing 30-minute cut-ins every 30 minutes, so be sure to tune in for that. That's all I have for today. I'm Shanice Hopkins.
And I'm Jeremy Ramirez. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.